Alright guys, what is going on? Adam with KB Autosports. Today is day 2 of SEMA, aka Wednesday. I think it's like November 5th or something like that. We are currently standing basically right outside of the Battle of the Builders Young Guns booth. So we stopped by here this morning. There's a bunch of crazy builds. If I'm correct and remember properly, this is all the builders under 25, 25 or 28, something like that. I actually was going to participate in this one year, but unfortunately never got around to being able to do it. These cars are on quite the next level. So many different cars to choose from, different styles, different ways. A lot of them are old school, but some of them just have crazy detail. This one, what I think is the coolest part about this one is the little speaker pod. The wheel matches the wheel, and then he's got an incredible stereo system. And I'm assuming those are air tanks in the back. And then we got this one right next to it that I also think is pretty incredible. I just love seeing when they do awesome bed work like this and they take a vehicle that just really isn't that custom and making it crazy. So they go through and they document all of these different vehicles with all different stuff going on. So it's pretty crazy, pretty fun. But yeah, we stopped through here this morning. So now we are gonna go move on to the rest of it. We're currently in, like, I think at the West Hall or something like that. Just looking around a bunch of different stuff. We got a mix of audio, PPF, tinge, RAM, some shop software in this one, all sorts of stuff. So when you guys come out here, if you guys ever do, if you're a business or whatever, there's so many different things to look at, so many different things to see. So let's go hit the next spot.
Do you want, like, how exacerbated do I make this? I can go full-fledged Manny on you? All right, cool.
Good.
All right. Let me know when you're rolling. Rolling? So we're going to talk about exactly, you're going to see these things sweep back and forth like you're seeing that one in the demo mode that it's in. The most important thing to make note of on this and that you're going to notice is you're going to see our hydraulic rams. These are going to be regular PSC rams with 8-inch travel. We use the 8-inch travel just no matter how big your wheel and tire size is, you won't rub your 4-link bars. Obviously, there's going to be a lot involved to try to make these hydraulics work. You're going to have an electric over hydraulic setup, which means that we have an electric motor that's driven, obviously with your battery power, and then you have these 2 electronic spools. That's going to control your flow to both pump to your ram back here or your ram in your middle axle. The exact precise point of where this is going to be steering to is going to be driven based on that potentiometer. So we're going to see the location of where it is on the front diff, where it is in the middle diff, and where it is in the rear diff. Relative to the front diff, we'll either put the rear wheels in the exact same point, that's if you're crab walking, or we'll put them in the exact opposite point, that would be the tight turn mode. That guarantees us having an axial center to be able to locate either of these 2 diffs within 1/3 of a degree. As far as alignment goes, on something that has rear steer, let alone 2 rear steer axles, we think 1/3 of a degree is way overkill. What else do we want to talk about? The rest of the thing kind of a little bit?
Sure, give us a rundown.
All right, so obviously these start life as either an F450 or an F550 cabin chassis. We do use an 84-inch cab axle. That nets us the capability of being able to do this extension of the brackets and of the rear axle without actually modifying the frame rails at all. These are stock frame rails. Technically, all of this is bolted onto the chassis. You could strip all of this, put the OEM front suspension back on, and put the OEM rear diff back on, and this would be a cabin chassis truck again. In the front, you're going to have what we call our regular high steer front suspension. This high steer front suspension is what you'd see on all of the other kits that we have that are 12-inch and greater. This is the iteration from the 18-inch and bigger kit. That's going to bring you your front truss, all your Heim steering, so all of the ball joints are now gone. You're going to have rod ends on both tie rod bars and drag link. Obviously, your pan hard bar, your track bar bracket, coilover conversion, a fabricated sway bar with its billet clamps. You're going to keep moving back here. You're going to get your 4-link, which is the same 4-link that's on our regular Ford Mega Cradle kits. You're going to have what we call, I guess, our big Mega Cradle, which is nothing more than the Mega Cradle like you would see on that Ram, that's then sliced to have the same proportions, the same shapes, and the same size, but with the uniformity to be able to match exactly what the 6x6 would net us. You're going to see the tandem axle setup that we were just talking about. You're going to see the way that it steers. You're going to see that the 4-link on this axle and the 4-link on this axle are going to be identical to each other as far as geometry and their suspension travel. We use the same exact 12-inch travel coilovers on all 6 points, so the suspension can swoop and move along that same point no matter where it is. Given the nature of the wheelbase and the length of the truck, there's actually a lot of articulation that is given, but it comes not only so much from properly dialed in four-link, but also from the length of the truck itself. The way we transfer power from the middle axle to the rear axle, you're gonna have these SES drop boxes that are actually machined and mounted to the pinion flange of the 14 bolt. These diffs start life as a 14 bolt center. They are DOM sleeves and tubed, and then with inner C's off of the front of a Dana 6. That nets us the capability of having a 41 spline axle shaft, and nets us the capability of having 2 true rear ends with 2 true GVWRs for this truck, to not have like some, I don't know, front diff put in the back that wouldn't properly work.
Very cool.